Hello, good morning. This is Shambhavi Spectrum. Thank you so much, Nael Basily from 28 Half, a beautiful company doing niche gifting. And I think you should talk more about it rather than me saying anything about your beautiful organization. Can we please start with give me some little background about yourself?
Hi, Dr. Shambhavi. Thank you for having me. My name is Nael Basily, like you correctly said. I come from advertising and marketing background, and my company is called 28 Harf, which means 28 letters, because the company is based on the Arabic language and Arabic calligraphy, and the Arabic language is the only language that's made out of 28 letters, 28 alphabets. So this is where the name came from. We started the company like 4 years ago, but we took it very slowly in the beginning because we were busy with our other businesses. We do advertising for a living, so the company started small and slow and easy, and then comes the COVID-19. We thought that it's time to give it some focus because we had enough time on our plate. So we thought we use this time in something useful, and we start building the company on the right grounds, if you like. So we launched our website and we launched our social media handles, and we took a small pop-up in a Circle Avenue where we started to display our products, of course, after the quarantine was over. And yeah, now we're giving it time.
So you're constantly saying we. Does it mean you have other people who are in with you as partners, or what is the dynamics?
Yes, basically, like I just said, we come from advertising background. So what happened is basically anything that requires art requires an artist, and I'm not an artist. I just have the taste because I've been doing this for quite some time. So my partner is his name is Morhaf Aqil. He's from Syria, and he's a fantastic Arabic calligrapher and creative director as well when it comes to advertising. So what happened is basically we started with few items, just trying Arabic calligraphy, just Arabic calligraphy, and this was not what we wanted because there is a lot of Arabic calligraphers there in the market. So what we thought is how can we combine the advertising experience that we have and the Arabic calligraphy that he can do as an extra. I don't know how to say this. Like he does Arabic calligraphy. So basically, we thought, how can we combine creative concepts behind each piece that we develop? So it doesn't become just an Arabic calligraphy art. No, it becomes an Arabic calligraphy art with a concept, with a twist. And this is where we thought that the market is lacking. There is a gap in this area in the market here in UAE. And we can talk about this a little more in detail if you like.
Sure, please do. It will be my pleasure to hear about the gap which you identified. And I would also like you to tell me a little bit about your product portfolio. I know you said calligraphy, but and creativity. So how does this how does this become tangible for the gifting? Please tell me about that.
Yeah, sure. I'll give you a few examples. Basically, if let's assume that you're a tourist coming to Dubai for a short visit, and you want to buy a nice souvenir to take back home. If you go in the market here, you will find that there is a couple of big players in the market, and I can mention their names, like Al Jaber, for example. They have several shops, and each shop has a different brand. So they're big enough to have several brands, and they can support these brands. And you can find the Camel shop, which has the same business model. They also have different brands, and even in Dubai Mall, you go, you find Camel shop, and opposite of that shop, you will find another shop owned by the same company with a different name selling different products. But the thing here is, if you go inside the shops, you will find that the souvenirs or the items you find there are very kind of boring. I don't want to say that, but yeah, it is the fact. You will find stuffed camels. You will find fridge magnets that have no, they just say Dubai or Abu Dhabi, or they put Burj Al Arab or Burj Khalifa on a colorful background, and they sell it on any kind of item like fridge magnets and block notes, etc. So we thought, why not having souvenir items that have twists like I just mentioned earlier. So I can show you a few examples. For example, so we decided to take the RTA signage, the road signage that you see everywhere when you're driving on Sheikh Zayed Road or in Mohammed bin Zayed Road. You will find signage. We thought that when we want to communicate Burj Al Arab on a nice item, we can do something like this.
That is
So we
so wonderful. I actually looked up your website also, and I saw this, and it was very innovative. I saw also about happiness tree. I'll share your website in a bit in this recording. Please talk about
perfect.
it. Tell me.
And yeah, and for example, Bar Dubai and Abu Dhabi. So if you're a tourist and you want to buy something that reminds you of the real UAE or the real Dubai, you would buy something like this because it has something. It will not only remind you of Burj Khalifa or Burj Al Arab, it will also show you the road signage. So it's something that you've seen on the streets while driving. So this is one of the lines that we developed. The other line, for example, we looked at the Arabic culture, like the UAE culture, that if you sit with someone local, especially the old people, they will always give you piece of wisdom when they talk. And you know that these wisdoms, we used to call them proverbs. Yeah, I'm sure you're familiar with the term. So what we did is basically we took the camel character because UAE is famous for camel, and we made that character as the wisdom character. They will always give you a proverb, a piece of something that you learned from, and we did like what the camel shop would do. They do a nice block note, but our block note has something to say. It has a nice proverb. So, for example, we came up with, not we came up, we took proverbs from the old people saying, um, relationships are not measured by distance, they are measured by the emotions and the love that you give each other. It's, of course, when you say it in Arabic, it's snappier and wittier and nicer. Yeah, you will find that on the website. Unfortunately, I don't have a sample on me now.
No problem. Please do say it in Arabic. I am sure I have an audience which is Arabic also. Please do say it.
Yeah, it says البعد بعد القلوب مو بعد الدروب. So the exact back translation is the distance is not heart distance. The distance is not roads distance or cities distance. It's heart distance. So this is the exact back translation. So this is one of the proverbs, but we did a series of this, and we also did the same thing for Egyptian proverbs because in the past, Egypt was famous for the Arabic movies and the Arabic series, and the locals here used to watch it a lot. So they know all of the proverbs that Egyptians say. So we did also a very nice series of Egyptian proverbs. And we did that on block notes and fridge magnets and bookmarks, magnetic bookmarks. So not only the item has a twist, also the design has a twist. The concept has a twist.
So it's
And
very nice. So when you're saying about the calligraphy is Arabic, you're saying about Egyptian proverbs, you're saying about Arabic proverbs. So who is your buyer actually? Which segment? How do you do STP? You've positioned yourself as a niche company doing gifting. Who is your target actually?
to be honest with you, we're facing a bit of a challenge on that because we're a startup and like any other startup, we don't have much budget. But unfortunately, we have to target several angles because we're targeting tourists, those who come for a visit, and we're targeting locals who want to buy gifts for their family members, and we target residents from the West, like English people, German people who want to buy something authentic that has to do with the country where they live in, and they want to gift it to someone, maybe a local, maybe someone who speaks Arabic, even maybe someone who doesn't speak Arabic, because you will always find the rationale behind the concept on our website. So even if you receive a gift and you don't understand what's written on it, you will find the rationale in the website. So this is one angle where we target consumers, if you like, but also we target corporates because some companies like P&G, for example, they want to do an internal campaign and they want to give nice gifts to the employees. So we can customize it according to any brand they have with a nice Arabic twist. So yeah.
Okay, so you do have B2B and B2C, is that right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
tourists residents, actually anybody and everybody who wants to do something gifting in a niche way is your. So how?
I don't want to I don't want to say anybody, because if you have any marketeers watching us now, they will point fingers and say you cannot target everybody. But
Anybody
but
who wants to do gifting, let's say that it's,
let's put it that way. Let's
yeah,
put it
you
that way.
can't be everything for everybody. This is a marketing fundamental which we understand. But yes, anybody who wants to do gifting, they are your target. So how
Yes.
does the pricing work then? How does,
Yeah, before the pricing also, not, I mean, not only gifting, some people want to decorate their walls, for example. So I can show you something. I don't know if this is clear.
yes, I don't know what it,
Basically,
I
of
don't know what it
course,
means, but I know
yeah.
it's clear.
To be honest, even if you speak Arabic, sometimes it's not easy to read because it's not only writing, it's an art as well. So what it says is basically it says "Nakhb al halimun," which means cheers to those who dream.
Okay.
So it brings positivity to your home. I mean, if you have a small office and you're working from home, like everybody working from home now, you would love to have something like this put on your wall in whatever size you want because it's customizable. So it can be as small as 30 by 30 or something as big as covering the entire wall for you. And part of the customization we do is basically if you have any certain line that you believe in or any certain code that you like, we can always do it in this kind of art and give it to you in the size and material you want.
Okay. All right. And how does then customized usually means niche, niche means expensive. How does the pricing work for you? You could tell what's the range, or you could also say, as I'm not asking you to compare pricing with your competitors because they're doing something different, you're doing something different. So, how does that work for you in terms of making it special?
We kind of understand the market situation now, and that a lot of people don't have the disposable income they used to have before. So we're trying to position ourselves in the area of affordable luxury, if you like. So we have the range of, for products that we produce ourselves without customization, like the coasters I just showed you or the Proverbs line. The price range is between 25 dirhams all the way to 100 dirhams. And for customization, it just goes up to 500 dirhams. It depends on the size of the art and the material that you choose for the art, etc., etc. So I would say between 25 to 500 dirhams.
Which is fair enough considering that if you go out and spend a meal or if you buy yourself personally, you want to gift something, you would spend that kind of amount. So, which I think which is very fair and very something which is, like you said, affordable luxury. It's a luxury, but it's
Absolutely,
affordable, which is
absolutely.
very. I like that title that which you have used as affordable luxury.
Yeah.
Now, tell me about your distribution process. How does that happen? Just in
Okay,
Al
so
Circle, you mentioned you have a pop-up in Al Circle. What else?
yeah,
How,
we
is it
have that
available
pop-up in
anywhere
a
else?
circle.
It,
At the moment, we have a Circle Avenue pop-up and we have our website and Instagram handle. We sell through these channels. However, we're trying now to connect with the hotels because there is always a souvenir shop in the hotel where you buy quick stuff. We're trying to connect with the hotels to start preparing ourselves. Once the tourism is back in the country, we are available and visible. And also in the malls, mall like Dubai Mall, for example, it usually receives a lot of tourists. And there is a special area for the souvenir shops and pop-ups, etc. So we're targeting this also. Medina Jumeirah, we're trying also in there. And we're open for ideas. I mean, if you guys have ideas, we're always open for that.
if I do, I will definitely share them with you. You're doing such a favor for us by sharing all this information. And
My pleasure.
as I told you earlier, I'm very passionate about the local market, being local and encouraging, and then about the Arabic culture. I mean, it's so vast. It's like you said, the 28 letters from there, everything is big about the Arabic culture. And yes, we don't want everybody to remember only Burj Khalifa or Burj Dubai. They are beautiful, but there are other things also which add value to it. So, coming to the main focus of my, how do you promote yourself, and how do you actually track the promotions? What are the methods that you use for promoting yourself?
Yeah, for our website, we definitely use Google Analytics. So we try to see how many visits we get every day on the website generally, and then we get into the details of page by page. Sometimes we run campaigns on Facebook that drive traffic to our website. So we always compare that to the advertising that we do on Google itself, and we try to see which one gets more traffic on the website. Um, for Facebook advertising and Instagram advertising, we usually look at Facebook has an analytics tools. We always look at that and we see, there is a methodology on Facebook where you can create two ads at the same time simultaneously. They call them A/B. And then you start comparing the performance of both ads on several aspects. One of them is the cost per click, cost per impression, and meanwhile the conversion rate of each of these ads. So you start comparing these together, and you see which ad is doing better, and you drop the other one, and you create another one instead of the one that you dropped, and you put it instead, and you start comparing again, and you keep on optimizing and optimizing. So it's quite time consuming, but it pays off.
Right.
That's on Facebook. Instagram is a nightmare for everyone now, so let me not get there.
I know. So two things which I should share with you at this point is during this COVID, I knew the Arabic alphabets, but we tried to learn spoken Arabic. I haven't reached anywhere.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And yes, but yes, now I understand the grammar very well. And
Okay,
because I think I go by rules, so it was easy for me to understand the grammar part of it. And the
perfect.
second thing which I did was also attended a digital marketing, like a practitioner's course, like what you did, because we use the theoretical aspect. So I understand when you say AB, and I understand perfectly well, being an entrepreneur myself, that Instagram is right now, everybody is having challenges with it. Um, we are hoping that the bigger picture is better. So this is the social media part of it, or the internet part of it. Do you do any promotion or anything like that which is not on this? And uh, do you send emails? Do you put up posters? How do you promote your Al Circle Avenue pop-up shop? Do you do any other kind of promotion for the company?
Yeah, we sometimes run sales promotions in a Circle Avenue where if you buy something, you get discount on something else, etc., etc. But to be honest with you, at the moment, the main focus is the online because if I can target 50 people coming into a Circle Avenue walking by, if I spend the same money, I can target 5,000 to 6,000 people online. So it's much easier for us now with our limited budgets. But again, once the tourism is back, it's very important for us, and it's in the plan already that we put up some posters and communication inside the hotels, the elevators, bathrooms, toilets, etc. Like we come up with creative concepts for these stuff. We call them the ambient media. But it's not the right time for that because there is no tourism. So if I put something there now, it's just a waste.
Okay. All right. So, so you've shared with us what your future, where you would be looking at, which is, so when you say we are hoping that the tourists will be back soon, and
Inshallah.
that your business will, of course, be multifold, manifold, increase exponentially. And in 5 years, where do you see yourself with 28 half? And
Our vision for the company is to become the number one creative souvenir and gift shop in the country, and we're trying to work towards that. Like we're putting a lot of effort behind it.
okay. What I would like to do now, with your permission, is share the screen for your website. And if you would
Please,
like to point me out to something specific, please do let me know.
please. Will I be
Yes.
able to see it also?
Yeah, I think
Perfect.
so. You can see it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Please tell me anything that you would like to specifically. So I wanted to understand about your website. One part you say trendy, and I saw somewhere vintage. I mean, it was pretty much on one of these where I saw vintage and trendy. So yeah, it's no longer old but vintage. Okay, that was the thing. Tell me more about it. Who have you designed your website yourself? What have you done, or is the idea yours implemented by somebody else? Tell me more about it.
No, actually, we did it internally. The whole team put a lot of effort behind it. It's me, my partner, and the rest of the team. And behind the copywriting, also one of our team members is a copywriter, and she gives us a lot of insights for the captions and the websites, etc. So she did a lot of effort on that. And coming back to the vintage and the trendy, if you just, I don't know if you would agree with me that vintage is the new trend now. It's trendy. I mean, if you go a lot of furniture shops now selling vintage stuff, and you put it in your modern style home. So yeah, vintage is the new trend now.
Yes.
That's why this is where the twist came from.
So it's right, actually. The vintage or the retro never goes away. There's always a phase when it comes back. And probably
Exactly.
even if you're looking at convenience, still convenience in vintage or some of those things we never go back. Especially now during the COVID times, all the old bonding which used to take place did kind of come back. Though we were online also, but I think we were like in a situation where we had to spend time with family. So we were listening to the stories, we were listening to, everything like you said about the proverbs or what it means. We have more time to actually look into those details. And
Yeah.
that's why probably you also were able to focus during the COVID times, you said, right? So,
Yeah, yeah.
like you
And
said, if you,
also, I mean, when it comes to the vintage thing again, the whole Arabic calligraphy area was always looked at as something vintage, something old, because now with the fonts that are available on the computer, nobody really picks up the brush or the pen or the pencil and writes something with their hand. So it was always looked at as something, no, khalas, it's out of fashion, if you like. But what we did is basically we brought it back with our mix of colors and trendy designs and the trendy lines with twists, etc. So this is again where the philosophy came from.
would you like me to focus anywhere? Do you want me to click somewhere, something specific you want to
Yeah,
share? Yes,
I
yes.
would show you, other than the signage concept I just showed you and the proverbs, I would show you, for example, if you go to the shop and go down to something called Netflix, it's the first one,
Yes,
I think.
yeah, it's the first one, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So with the quarantine, a lot of people have put a lot of time on Netflix, including me. So
Yes,
we
I
got
can
so
see the
hooked.
money heist.
Exactly. So we got so hooked to characters from Netflix. So for example, the first one on the left is basically Pablo Escobar, the biggest drug
Yes,
dealer.
yes.
And what we wrote in Arabic is basically Al Patron, which means the boss of the cartel. And then followed by Bella Ciao. So we took the main character, the main mask of Money Heist, and we
Money
wrote
heist.
down Bella Ciao with our own calligraphy, and then followed by Heisenberg, the main character behind Walter White. What is it called? Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad.
One of the most popular series. So we're not only focusing on Arabic wisdom and proverbs and stuff. We're also bringing some new stuff and injecting them in.
Very nice. And I think you have a shopping cart here, which means that you can track what people are clicking at, what they add to the cart. And you can also see the cart abandonment, I think, which is a major challenge for all people who are doing e-commerce uh, because they don't know what happened and why people went away. Uh, so that's, is there any challenge, any other challenge that you face um, which you would like to share with? I can stop sharing the screen, or we could do a little bit more browsing if you
Yeah,
want.
there is also in the shop you can show people the proverbs section.
Yes.
So yeah, this is one of the block notes.
Okay.
This one is very also inspiration. It says is a mata'ak zaman ti'a, which means if everything go against you, don't give up. Just be lean and be flexible and move around with it, and it will come towards you at some point. And the yellow one is basically an Egyptian proverb. It's very funny. It says "اللي على راسه بطحة بيحسس عليها," which means if you did something wrong, it will always show on you. So don't try to hide. Just fix whatever you did.
Very nice. It's so wonderful. And I think it's something beautiful that you have conceptualized and made it available. And like these are, again, typically so nicely you've bridged the gap between the trendy and something which is traditional.
Yeah,
You did mention earlier something that about research, about something about the gap in the market, and probably this is what you were indicating. Is that right? So
exactly.
yeah, I'll stop sharing the screen now. And I really appreciate it's beautiful, and I can see the passion that you have. It just is coming across so well. So
My
if my
pleasure.
audience are people who are in marketing or who are looking at making marketing, apart from just digital marketing, would you have a message for them uh, about what they can do, what they should focus on, and what is going to be the trend in future?
Yeah, I remember you and I, we just attended a session about retail and the whole change that's coming into the retail business and the need, the high need now that you need to focus on online business because a lot of people are avoiding now going to the malls because of COVID, and it's even post COVID, they're expecting people they got used to the ease of just a click of a button and get something to home from Amazon, from Souq, from whatever it is. So if you have a business now, put some effort behind the digital and being online generally, because even if it picks up slowly, it will pick up at some point. This is where you need to focus. Uh, yeah, this is mainly it. I mean, and if there's something else I would say apart from being online or offline, I would say that don't give up because things might be taking time, things might not be looking very happy in the beginning, but the more time you give it and the more effort you put on it, it will definitely pay off at some point.
Thank you so much. It's such a wonderful message because I think really resilience and being persistent with what you want to do is something which we all need positivity at all times. Thank you so much for this. So I will take your leave now. Thank you, Nael. Have a lovely day.
It was a pleasure being with you guys and looking forward to more sessions like this.
Thank you. Bye.